Zara stepped out of the Uber like a queen stepping out of a chariot. The valet at the luxury hotel rushed to open the door, assuming she owned the sleek car. She flicked her Brazilian hair, adjusted her designer shades and strutted inside, ignoring the burning reality. Her bank account was almost empty. Social media had made her famous. Her Instagram was full of lavish vacations, luxury shopping and VIP parties, but it was all an illusion. She borrowed clothes, faked hotel stays, and dated rich men to fund the lifestyle. Behind the scenes, bills piled up and her landlord was threatening eviction. But in the Slay Queen world, appearances were everything. Her best friend Tok played the same game, but she had secured a wealthy politician as her sponsor. Zara envied her, but she wasn't about to give up. She needed a bigger catch, someone powerful, someone rich. And then she met Dapo Adeyemi. Dapo was the kind of man that made women weak, tall, dark, dangerously handsome, and filthy rich. He owned clubs, hotels, and had connections in high places. The moment he set his eyes on Zara at a yacht party, she knew she had found her jackpot. "You intrigue me," Dapo whispered, his fingers grazing her chin. "I like women who know what they want." Within weeks, Zara was draped in diamonds, driving a brand new car and sleeping in a penthouse. Tok was jealous, but Zara didn't care. She had won the game. But soon, she started noticing strange things. Dapo never talked about his business. He received phone calls in hushed tones. There were men, serious-looking men who followed him everywhere. Then, one night, she overheard something that made her blood run cold. "She's getting too comfortable," a voice said. What if she talks? Was she in danger? Just when things started feeling off, Kunle reappeared. He had been Zara's first love before she transformed into a slay queen. Back then, she had dreams of starting her own business, of being independent. But dreams didn't buy designer bags. "Zara, this isn't you," Kunle said, his eyes filled with worry. "I know you. You are never like this." She laughed. "Kunle, I made it. Look at me now." "Look at you?" he scoffed. "You're living in a world that can kill you." She brushed him off, but deep down, something in her cracked. What if he was right? What if Dapo wasn't just a businessman? What if she was in over her head? Zara started digging. She watched Dapo more closely, listened when he thought she wasn't around, and then she found it. Evidence that Dapo was more than just a businessman. He was involved in illegal deals, and worse, people who crossed him disappeared. Panicked, she called Toki. "I think I'm in trouble," she whispered. Tok's voice was cold. "You should have stayed in your lane, Zara." And that's when she knew. Tok had sold her out. That night, Zara packed her bags. She had to leave. But as she stepped outside, a black SUV screeched to a halt. Men in dark suits jumped out. She ran. Through the back streets of Lagos, she weaved through alleys, her heart pounding. Her phone rang. It was Kunle. "Where are you?" he asked. "They're coming for me," she gasped. "Run to the old warehouse near the market. I'll find you." She ran harder, the teeth snapping off. She kicked them away, sprinting barefoot. The men were gaining. Just as she turned the corner, a motorcycle skidded to a stop in front of her. "Kunle, get on!" She didn't hesitate. He gunned the engine, and they sped into the night. Zara and Kunle hid in an abandoned house, trying to catch their breath. "We need to go to the police," she whispered. Kunle hesitated. "It's not that simple." "What do you mean?" she asked, stepping back, and then it hit her. Kunle wasn't here to save her. Dapo had sent him. Before she could react, a gunshot rang out. Kunle fell to the ground, blood spreading across his shirt. Behind him, Tok stood with a gun, her face unreadable. "You always thought you were better than me," Tok whispered. "But this is my world, Zara, not yours." She aimed the gun at Zara's chest. Sirens blared in the distance. Someone had called the police. Toko cursed and turned to run, but Zara grabbed the gun and struck her across the face. She ran, leaving Tok screaming behind her. Minutes later, the police stormed the building, arresting everyone, including Dapo. Zara collapsed onto the pavement, shaking. It was over. Months later, Zara sat in a small apartment, sipping tea as she watched the sunset. No luxury, no cameras, no fake life. Just peace. She picked up her phone and opened Instagram. Her last post was still there. Her final picture as a slay queen. She deleted it. Then, she started writing her own story. Not as a slay queen, but as a survivor.